What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. VP Tactical here, and today we are talking about the beloved P365 in the micro market. And so I wanted to kind of break this thing down, give my thoughts and opinion on it, and why I changed some of the things that I changed. If you happen to like this content and it was helpful to you, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget that little bell notification. That would mean the world to me, as it helps support my channel, and it costs you folks absolutely nothing. Moving on. So talking a little bit about the P365, I think this thing definitely took the market by storm. And we're going to go ahead and make sure that this bad boy is clear, which it is. And this is the P365 base model that is slightly on steroids. And so why do I say that? Well, this particular one happens to be wearing a Wilson Combat grip, which has grip weights in it, along with a flat trigger that you might find in some of the other models. And so took the pistol out, was super excited as soon as we got it. Really liked the sights on there, the X-ray, which has a glowing front optic sight, and then the blacked out rears. And so it really does present well, and it just looks great across the board. How does the gun shoot? Well, this particular gun was a bit small for my hands, and I have pretty decent sized hands, and so you can imagine me trying to grip this, and as you can see, even with the mag in there, if we were to cut this corner, I'm barely getting a grip on there. And if I have my full fingers in here, my pinky's pretty much kind of sliding off, and so there's not much for me to grip onto. And so the standard base model P365 might be great for somebody who has smaller hands, more of a petite stature potentially, or again, somebody who just has a smaller grip, as opposed to someone like me. But I absolutely love the micro pistols. And the one thing that I noticed with that smaller frame and the lack of my grip was the recoil pulse, and it seemed awfully snappy, especially in the small configuration. And so that eventually led me to upgrading to the Wilson Combat. This is the P365 XL. Now, normally when you step up to the XL model, you get the longer slide as well as the longer grip. And why would you want the longer grip? Well, then that allows you to swap from a 10-round magazine up to a 12-round factory magazine. Now, P365 has, like I said, really taken the market by storm. They've gone off into a number of different options that are out there and or configurations. Some are reaching upwards of $1,000 plus, depending on where you look. But now they've got the X Macro, which has all of those goodies, including, I believe, a built-in comp on the front of it. And then now they have the Fuse, which is their newest iteration of it. And it seems like they keep adding more and more features to it. The base model, like I said, is 10 plus 1, right? 10 plus 1 in the chamber. This particular configuration is 12 plus 1 in the chamber. And then moving on up to the Fuse and the X Macro, and you can get upwards of 21 plus 1 in the chamber. So Sig really knows their market well and has adapted and evolved off of the base model to something that could certainly be competitive with the G43X, the Micro Dagger, as well as the other micro pistols that are out there, just to name a few. But again, the recoil impulse on the smaller frame with the smaller slide, for me, even with the XL, it's definitely noticeably more snappy. Like I said, the recoil impulse, to me personally, that's my perceived perception of it. And in comparing that to like a G43X, which still has a little bit of snap to it, but I believe, in my opinion, is a little bit more manageable. And I think that's why I would probably be better suited personally for the X Macro, or maybe one of the larger framed micros in that regard, like the Micro Dagger, again, some of those others that might be out there. But the P365, like I said, this is an awesome little package. And this particular one, we did swap over to a flat face trigger. I don't know, I have an affinity for them. There's just something about the way it breaks, and I love the fact that when it does, it's at a nice even 90-degree angle, in comparison to the other triggers. This happens to be a P320, and the rounded trigger, and it feels okay. Again, it's comfortable. It's not that I absolutely hate it. I just love the way these flat face triggers break. It just feels so much smoother and so much more natural to me. But again, that's my personal preference, personal opinion. Do I like the base model P365? No. That's why I upgraded and started adding all of these other things to it. But chances are, if I get my hands on a gun, there's probably going to be something that either I don't like about it or that I want to upgrade on it just because. I mean, heck, look at my other P320. It's wearing also a Wilson Combat grip with grip weights too, and a Sig Foxtrot light on the end of it. So other than that, I mean, it's relatively stock. Nothing else has been changed. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything in a nutshell. And that's my thoughts on the P365. Like I said, it's not a bad gun. Again, I think it depends on your situation. It's perfect for EDC, right? Given its small platform and size, you just got to be ready for, like I said, that recoil impulse, and everyone's perception of it's going to be different, right? To each their own. If you have the base model, let me know what your thoughts are below. Feel free to drop those comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. But again, I like my Frankenstein conversion, if you will. I think that this was a great alternative in comparison to at least the base model, but not quite spending, $600, $700, $800, $900,000 on either the Fuse or the X Macro and some of those other models in between. So, any rate, hopefully you folks like this video. And again, my take on the P365. Like I said, I think it's a solid gun through and through. It's a great shooter. I have no complaints as far as accuracy or any of those other components. It's just, like I said, perceived recoil, size of the grip, and being able to hold on to it. And that might be part of the issue, right? If my pinky is hanging off, that could be a good component of it. But other than that, I mean, it does feel natural in the hand, although I really like this grip texturing of that Wilson Combat. But yeah, any rate, like I said, let me know what your thoughts are. Drop some comments below. I'd certainly appreciate it. I'll be happy to respond to you. Be safe, stay vigilant, and thanks for supporting my channel. Take care.